everybody loves to say delegate. Most people don't delegate. They just hand stuff off and kind of wash their hands and don't watch it as much as they should. And I've done that too, but really kind of just separate the duties, move them out to additional people, and then keep up with them. We meet every day, and then we have a larger meeting every Monday as well.
130 doors. I mean, that's a lot of doors. When I hear people say a number like that, you start to wonder like, okay, does he have a percentage of interest in 130 units? You're talking about single family houses, right? Like you're talking about 130 single family houses. Yep.
Yeah, there's a few. We have a 8 condos in a 12-unit building. Um, I think a couple duplexes, um, and a sixplex, but then the rest is all single family.
That's impressive. So to be able to acquire that, um, were you using the Burr strategy for majority of those acquisitions?
Yep. Yeah, we
Okay.
get them. We either use bank, private, or personal money to purchase them, get them rehabbed, get them rented, refinance, get all or most of our cash out, and then move on down the road.
Yeah. So at the time when you were buying quite a few, did you have some equity in other properties and some cash set aside to where you could fund a lot of purchases and renovations? Because one of the things that we've ran into is when you have 10, 15, 20 projects going, all of a sudden all of the liquidity that you thought you had disappears. So
It
I'm
does.
curious on your thoughts on that with doing volume at one point in time.
It does. And that's part of why, after 2 years of just adding a ton of rentals, 60, 70 rentals, we went, all right, we need a break because we were
Yeah.
doing so many of those. And Burr is nice, but it doesn't always work out perfect. And there's
Yep.
times we've had to leave money in them. And it's easy to get in that cash flow crunch of, oh God, I have all this money, I have all this equity sitting,
Right.
but I need to pay my bills this week or next week or whatever the case is.
Right.
And that's again where flipping comes in for us. And we just kind of would rotate more flips into our pipeline and um, keep that machine going. I mean,
Yeah.
even now in September of 23, we're still most of our flips, if they're at the median price point or less, they're not lasting more than a few days here in Oklahoma City because the inventory is just so freaking low.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's crazy. Still, even with the higher interest rates, I'm seeing the same thing in our market too. As long as they're priced right and done right.
Yep.
So with with all of that going on, um, I've built up a team and did quite a few deals and doing quite a few deals, and that means something to one person and a whole another to the person who's doing 500, right? But I'm curious, knowing the volume that you're doing, how how do you manage all of that? Because you know there's different components. The way I look at it is, and I was talking to my partner about this recently. You have a wholesaling business, that's a whole beast in itself.
Yep.
That's a marketing business. You have a flipping business. You have a 130 doors to manage, and and you have some software that we're going to talk about. And so, how do you manage all of those components of the business?
Documenting what we do, systematizing it, keeping meeting regularly to keep everybody on the same page, and adjusting things as are needed.
Sure.
Um, it's Amy and I that run everything together. Then we have an in-house property manager. She manages all but a handful of our properties. We actually hired her before we needed her. Um, we knew her personally, known her for 11 or 12 years, and knew she was going to leave where she was working. And while she didn't have property management experience, we knew her well enough to know that she would be good at the position, but she would need some time to grow into it. And it was fine. I think we had like 20 rentals or 30 rentals at the time, and we were able to cover that additional cost. Because obviously, when you have 20, 30 rentals, hiring an in-house property manager isn't a smart cash flow decision,
Sure.
but that has paid off because as we got larger, we didn't have the huge growing pains of, oh, now we have to move all of our management over.
Mhm.
So that helped. But then we also have a project manager and a project assistant, and then acquisitions and lead management. So as time has gone, we've added more people to the team, and everybody loves to say delegate. Most people don't delegate; they just hand stuff off and kind of wash their hands and don't watch it as much as they should. And I've done that too, but really kind of just separate the duties, move them out to additional people, and then keep up with them. We meet every day, and then we have a larger meeting every Monday as well.
Yeah. It's a lot easier said than done.